Good evening, Rochester. Britt Noser here, your candidate for mayor with the Setting a New Course podcast. The topic of this episode is going to be the heritage preservation meeting that I attended a couple of nights ago regarding the creation of Silver Lake as a protected historical site. So I promised I would do this video, so I'm going to give you sort of the hot wash up of what happened at the meeting. So the Heritage Preservation Commission, HPC, sometimes it's called, is a board of people appointed by the mayor that makes decisions and recommendations about historical buildings and sites in Rochester. And so they're an advisory board to the city council, and the city council ultimately makes a decision. So we're talking about this master plan and how it relates to this historical preservation. So the biggest point of discussion was the buildings at Silver Lake, and just in general what makes it the park that it is, the buildings, etc., the bridges. Of course, the subject of contention is the dam, and they say, well, the dam isn't historic, but the dam is what creates the footprint of the lake, and the new alternative to removing the dam will completely change the lake. And there seemed to be a consensus of the members that were there. That's another side note I'll talk about later. There was like half or less than half of well, that must have been more than half because they had a quorum. But it was very poorly attended by the members of the commission. So I'm not sure who these people are that are being picked. If they don't want to show up to the meetings, they shouldn't accept the appointment. But anyway, that's a topic for another video. Anyway, so there was some disagreement on the commission about keeping the dam or not. This is obviously something that the city staff definitely want. So you need to be aware of that. I encourage you to contact your councilman, the mayor, contact the head of parks, contact even Public Works, would be in charge of removing the dam. The city is hell bent on removing the dam and turning Silver Lake into a new shiny thing project, as you've heard me talk about many times. This is what they want to do. This is reality. So if you want to keep Silver Lake the way it is, or restore it to the way it was, which is what I think is the best thing for an architect-designed historic park, you need to let the representatives, and even I don't know if the HPC members are publicly known, but I would contact them as well. There were many people who spoke, John Kriesel, Greg Munson. These are two men who deeply care about the city, and they're kind of like city elders. They spoke very eloquently about the history and about how important Silver Lake is to our city, and they were in favor of keeping the dam to keep the original footprint of the lake and of taking better care of the park. You know, the city has kind of neglected it on purpose, in my opinion, and then they say, well, you know, this is so dingy, nobody wants to come here, so we're just going to have to do something to make it new and shiny. I am opposed to that. I am in favor of keeping it nice, keeping it the way it was originally designed, architect designed, including keeping the dam, keeping the footprint, and getting rid of the vegetation around it so you can actually see the water again. Some people voice concerns that there was a danger crossing the bridge. You know, you can walk your bike across the bridge. It's not a bike park. It is a traditional leisure park, and we have 3,000 acres of parks, so we don't need to have every park be a bicycle-friendly park. This is not another. We have 85 miles of paved trails, so I'm not necessarily sympathetic to that view. We had a beautiful Mayo Park that's been completely destroyed by the Mayo Civic Center, which is just metastasized into this grotesque, overgrown building that is not even used very heavily. So let's not make the same mistake twice. Let's learn from our mistakes. Let's keep Silver Lake the way it is. And if I were mayor, I would veto any sort of master plan. These bureaucrats and these master plans and their resume building projects, I am tiring of them in Rochester. It's one of the reasons I'm running. So this has gone way too long, but I am very serious and passionate about this subject. We're almost hitting 5 minutes here. If you're still with me, I appreciate it. And this is something that's important just because we, as I've said before, just because we want new things, it's not an either or situation. We can keep the old traditional things. There's a great deal of the population that appreciates that. It's not just people looking for nostalgia. I mean, it's a classic. It's a lesson in classic beauty and classic elegance, and it's a lesson that we could certainly learn from today. So this has gone way too long, but I appreciate you if you're still watching. So until next time, good day.